When the company attacked Michelle Obama on live TV, people expected public outrage. But instead, something completely different happened, something the entire nation watched unfold, something people will probably remember for a long time. The town hall in Atlanta was supposed to be routine, simple questions, polite applause, nothing unusual. But the moment Donald Trump took a jab at Michelle Obama on live television, everything changed instantly. It was as if he crossed a line he never should have crossed, and the cameras captured the whole thing. For a moment, the entire room fell silent, stunned, uncomfortable, unsure of how to react. Within minutes, the clip was everywhere online. Before the broadcast even ended, it was already trending on every platform. From Chicago to Los Angeles, people were replaying the moment, trying to understand what exactly had happened. Many wondered the same question: how will Michelle Obama respond? The incident began when Michelle was asked about a new initiative focused on empowering young girls in underserved communities. She explained how people often look at her and assume she grew up in privilege, but her journey was nothing like that. She talked about trying to always be respectful and positive. And then, out of nowhere, Trump threw out a dismissive remark, saying Michelle talks a lot, and that he hasn't seen many results. The air in the room shifted immediately. Even the moderator tried to remind the audience that Michelle's program had partnered with more schools than any other similar initiative. But Trump continued, saying, "We need winners," leaving those words hanging in the air like a cold draft. By the time the clip hit the internet, the reactions were explosive. Late-night hosts joked about it, but even in their humor there was discomfort. Conservative commentators, who rarely defend Michelle, admitted that Trump had crossed a line. Because insulting Michelle Obama wasn't just political, for millions of Americans, it felt personal. She's more than a former First Lady, she's a symbol of dignity, strength, and American possibility. In Chicago, the city that raised the Obama legacy, people watched the clip with a mix of shock and disappointment. This was the same city where Barack Obama, back when he was governor, passed universal healthcare reforms, a place where the Obamas aren't just public figures but part of the community's story. And yet, Michelle remained silent. That silence became its own headline. Morning shows, social feeds, political panels, everyone talked about it. Hashtag Stand With Michelle and hashtag Words Matter spread everywhere. Celebrities supported her, teachers praised her, and everyday people expressed both frustration and admiration. Still, Michelle said nothing. Her silence made her presence even louder. Meanwhile, Trump celebrated the lack of response, tweeting sarcastic comments as if he had won something. But unknowingly, the more he mocked, the more Michelle's popularity grew. Commentators started calling her silence a masterclass in composure. It became clear that sometimes saying nothing says everything. All eyes shifted toward Barack Obama, who was scheduled to deliver a keynote at the Chicago Youth Leadership Summit. What was supposed to be a local event transformed overnight into a nationally watched moment. When Barack walked onto the stage, the arena erupted. He began speaking about community and leadership, but then his tone changed slightly, and the entire audience leaned in. He said, "You know, leadership is about building moments, and sometimes, it's about knowing when to respond." The room went silent. Everyone understood who he was referring to, even without names. Barack continued, explaining that true leadership isn't about tearing people down, but lifting them up. He said we can't change the world by insulting it, we change it by elevating it. He ended with a quiet but powerful message. Sometimes strength is in the words you choose, and sometimes it's in the words you don't. That was all it took. The speech went viral. Commentators praised his calm, dignified approach. Americans across the country reflected not just on Michelle's silence but on what leadership really means. For days, headlines, talk shows, and social media feeds kept the conversation alive. What started as a moment of disrespect turned into a national lesson, a reminder that words matter, character matters, and dignity always rises above noise. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel.